Hello everyone, I'm Zishan Shah and welcome to Z Interactive YouTube channel, your own training institute. So we will go through our next lesson, which is about 2D and 3D views. So throughout this tutorial series, you might have noticed that every time I click on a single node or a set of nodes, this little window here, if you will notice, actually updates, and sometimes even the 3D view updates. So let's say if I were to bring in this black like thing, the uniform color. Okay, so you will see that it will change to that black. If I will double click here, so it will change to this. So I would like to basically talk about these two windows which we have. One is the 3D view, another one is the 2D view. So this is the 2D view, and the 3D view, which is here, is basically a little more like simpler than the 2D view. It's kind of more like you're looking at the image as a flat texture, which is the 2D like 2D view, and a 3D view is more like an actual 3D model with the texture applied to it. So, for example, if we were to kind of bring a grunge connected here somewhere, okay, and instead of a uniform color, what we can do here is that let's delete this one, and you will notice that the color is gone from here. I will take I'll press space bar. I will take grunge here, and any sort of a grunge map I can bring up. Okay, and then what I will do here, I will press space bar and I will choose uniform color now and connect to it, and then wait for a while here, and then I will press spacebar and choose blend. Now let's put this here down, this one here. Let's move these a little bit up so we have a more of this. Now, the uniform color, I can change it to some color here, like a red here, and I will take this output and put it here in the foreground, and take this one and put it here in the background. And as you notice that it have given me this red line here. This is because this is a grayscale. So what I can do here is that I have to convert this into color. So I will just go and bring the gradient map. So I will have this gradient map here, and now it's okay. So now in blending, I will go in my blending mode and I will change it to add or whatever value I want and connect this to base color. And here I have this on the 2D view as well. I have it on my 3D view as like the same thing. And one more thing I'll do. Okay, one more like before doing the next process, one thing I want to make it clear, what actually we are doing here is creating nodes, and you don't have to worry about these nodes because as I told you before, and I keep on saying this again and again, we will have a complete separate chapter only related to nodes. So don't worry about the nodes I'm creating here. Just focus on um, like the process here of or like what 2D and 3D view actually do here. So I'll take this one from here, from the grunge map, plug it here to the height. Oops. Okay, and now I will just make sure this is tessellation is on, and then now I will just go back here. Don't worry about these things, we will go all in detail, so don't worry about the whole thing that I'm doing here. So I'll go in the materials, default, edit the material here, and I'll make sure the tessellation is high up enough. Okay, And I want to make the height here. I want to just increase the height here. So I'll just go here, scale, increase it just like this. And just move it down. Okay. Or what I can do is that I could change this to plain. Now, just notice that whatever I click here, okay, like suppose if I click here. Now this is the 2D view or a flat texture, just like this one. Or if I double click it here, the flat texture. And what this is actually the complete 3D view with the height map, with the normal and everything that you see here on the screen. So basically that is shown inside your like 3D view. So let's go and check these two views one by one. So first we will go through the 2D view, then we will move to the 3D view. So again, don't worry about these nodes. We will go through in detail just to see how these nodes actually work. Now, most of the things here, a lot of things that we will do in the 2D view are actually down here docked. And this is kind of smaller bar, and this part can actually move freely, and you can dock it anywhere else. Like suppose for just to explain it clearly, I will dock it up here so that we have it on the top rather than being on the bottom, so that clearly on your screen you can see that. So we will go through these now. Now, each of these buttons, if you will see, corresponds to something that you can do inside of the viewer, like the 2D view. Whether that be changing the channels, being able to see the RGB, or it might give you some of sort of information. So like I want to go over what each of these little buttons actually do and what it represents basically. So if you're always kind of wondering what each one does, you can kind of just hover over them and you will get the information about it. So let's say, for example, if I go here, hover over it, and then it just showed like some information, like this is considered image in sRGB. This one basically considered image in alpha, pre-multiplied. This one show checkerboard. And here, these are different channels here. So I think here you won't be getting the tooltip here or description here. Here you can get all these. Okay, so this is how like what you will be getting. So let's go one by one in each one of them and let's see what they are. So first one here is basically the channels. So we have right now RGB. Then if you can switch to the red, the green, the blue, and the alpha. So let's see practically how it works and what is the use of it. So let's go to RGB. And one thing I would like to do here is just delete these for now and move this one down a bit. Now I have base color, which is completely empty right now. Nothing is connected to it. So what I will do here is that I will bring a few shapes here. Okay, at least 4 shapes. So I can go and bring shape 1. And then here, I'll go to the instance parameters. I will scale it down. Okay, and I will duplicate this 3 or 4 times. You can see that. You can say that. Here, this one, I will turn this one into a disk. Duplicate this one. I will turn this one to maybe pyramid. Okay. And I will duplicate this one and turn this one to maybe something else. Maybe a capsule. No, capsule is like too small. Maybe Let's see if there's something else here. No. Let's do one thing. Let's press space bar, get a star shape here. So I'll have the star shape now. Okay, so I have these 4 shapes on my screen. And what I will do here is that, okay, and one more thing, as I told you before in the last lesson also, if you double click on something, you'll see these 2 options here, like these 2 small icons here. This means it is displayed in the 2D view, and this means that it is displayed in the properties. So right now it is displayed in the properties also and in the 2D view also. But if I click it once, so what will happen? The 2D view will stay same, but the property window will move to this tool. So single click can move to any property, just like what we have discussed in the last lesson. So here what I will do is that I will press space bar and I will bring a node which is called RGBA merge. So I will just bring that here. So you will see that you'll see here we have RGBA. So R for the green, I will take, R for the red. So I will take my square and connect it to the R, and you can see it's red. Then I will take the disk, connect it to the G. So red, green, it will show me the yellow color here. Then I will take the other shape, connect it to the blue, and you can see that how it is showing here. Then I will take my output here and from the star and connect to the alpha here. So you can see what I'm getting here. Okay, now I got all of these. So if I will go here in the channels now, if I click on red, I will get the square. If I click on the green, I will get the disk. And if I will click on the blue, I will get the pyramid. If I will click on the alpha, I will get the star. If I will click on RGBA, I will get the whole thing at a mixture. So this is how you can separate them if you want, okay, through this. So it's quite handy in some cases, and we'll see that when we will move to the project part. So how we can use these and how it will help us to create these code like sort of things, especially when you're working in the channels, like on different channels. So the button directly to the right of the RGB here, this one, it says show checkerboard. Now, if you know from Photoshop, checkerboard is basically what? It's the alpha. It enables the alpha. So if I click on this show checkerboard, you will see that it will enable the alpha. And what do we have in alpha right now? We do have alpha as a star. So by default, this is off. But if you want to turn it on, you can turn it on. Okay. So that's you have here. But for example, if you connect something else here, okay, not a star, so your result will be a little different. For example, if we go here and search for a different sort of a noise here, okay, let's go and search for clouds. Okay, let's do clouds instead of noise. I will put this here, and just notice. So whatever is white will be actually it is not like 100% black and white. It's like some sort of a gray shade is there. So you will get something like that. Whereas previously, if I undo this, we had star. So whatever is white is shown and whatever is black is gone. So this is purely black and white. There is no shade of gray here. So this essentially is a kind of like something that forces you to view actually your alpha channel when it is on. So make sure when you're working, this should be off, because if it is on, in any case, so what will happen is that it will some sort of, it will give you like a unpredicted result or something you were not looking for. So make sure that you know about it. It should be off in case you don't need it. Otherwise, if you need it, you can turn it on. But most of the time, I usually keep it off. So a lot of times when you're actually working in Substance Designer, this doesn't tend to be a problem, because in the beginning, you are using a lot of grayscale nodes. So actually doesn't matter if you have it turned on and or like on or off, but this is just something to be like a worrisome in case you do start getting like weird sort of like effect, especially if you have ever worked with the uh, sort of flood fill node. Okay, and here especially, like here you won't get the effect here. Suppose if I press space bar, then I go to the flood fill. Okay, here you will notice that I'm not getting anything right now because it is empty. Let's connect the star to it. Okay, so at this stage I don't have like any problem, but if I turn this on or off, or if I have something else here, not this, okay, maybe I have let's do one thing. Let's remove it from here. Oops, I was supposed to delete this connection, and let's add some cells to it and scale it up. Sorry, scale it down. And let's add some edge detect. Again, don't worry about this. We will go through all these of the options here. Okay, now if this is off, like here you can see that it's showing the alpha, like the checkerboard is on. Okay, but here it's not showing that. So this is how it will look like if it is by default on, but actually it is not by default on, it is off. But in the view itself, it is by default like on. So actually you have to look at it here. Otherwise, you will get confused, like why does it look like this? And here it looks a little bit different. So that's one thing you should like consider when you are using some of the nodes. Okay, so here it might look a little different, and here it might look a little different. So here, because it is by default off the alpha. Okay, so now the next one here is the alpha premultiplied. Okay, so to check this one, like basically, now what actually this considered image is alpha premultiplied do, let's go over here. So after double clicking, you will be able to view it in the 2D view. And here, if I will click on the show checkerboard, you will notice that I will be able to see the alpha preview of this. Now next to it, now just see the one, the considered image is alpha premultiplied, which was grayed out, now is activated. So if I click on here, so what it will do is that, just notice it will take some of those values. This is basically showing you the luminance value with on and off. So a regular, then the luminance value, regular, the luminance value. So this is what it actually do. And in some cases it worked. The projects I worked on, I really didn't happen to work on this particular part. So maybe you might see that. It's just like for viewing purposes. All these are for viewing purposes. It is not affecting your graph actually. Now, let's go back here to my grunge map. Okay, why I came here. Let's go here. No, not this one. Where it is. Yeah, it should be here. The base color. Yeah. Now, if you will see that we are in our grunge map, and our next option here is toggle repeat tiling on or off. So as I told you that everything that you create inside Substance Designer by default is tileable. Now to see what sort of tile that you have, you can just click on this tileable toggle button. As soon you will click on, you will be able to see the tiles. Okay, like how the tile is, how good it is, how it is repeating. Okay, and you can turn it on or off. It's totally up to you. And then if you hover over, it shows you where is the real image, where the real image is. So you can turn it on or off from here, or you can press spacebar or spacebar on your keyboard to do that. So we've talked about a little bit in the last video about the tiling modes, and that was like pretty much like the basic about that, like how you can use the tiling with or without the absolute values rather than related to parent. So creating tiles and looking at tiles just like with this option is a great way to see how your tiling will actually look like in at the final stage. So if we do kind of like that's the same thing we can do as an example here. Like suppose if I take this, click on this, okay, and if I zoom out, you can see what's going on here. And one thing here, let's click it here and then bring the 2D view here, sorry, transform 2D here. And if I move around, you can see it is also moving the tile. And if I rotate this around, you can see it is also rotating the tile. Okay, so this is how I can know if my tile is doing a good job or not. So just see the tile is broken, so there is something wrong here. So I have to arrange in a way that it should not look bad. So now it looks fine. Or if I will move it here, it doesn't look right. It looks something like really awful here. Okay, and suppose I want to create some sort of a like interesting tiles or something like that. So what I can do here is let's disconnect this for now. Let's move it here. Bring blend. Move it to the blend. Okay, and then what we can do here is that I can take another one, move it here down to the background, but here I can, in the between, I can add another transform tool. Okay, by the way, blending also, there will be a completely different chapter for the blending, different sort of blendings and those kind of things. So you also should not worry about right now about the blending, because we are going to cover it all in detail. So don't worry about that. Now, if I will move this one here, let me do one thing. Go back to blending and choose add. Okay. With the shift key so it doesn't ruin the idea. Okay. This sort of a effect I can create here, and basically this is what I will get. And you can see that it is styling in itself. Okay, and for example, if you don't want this sort of a tiling here, you can just simply double click it here. Okay, and then in the tiling mode you can go to the absolute, no tiling. Okay, and if I'll go here back, so you can see that tiling is there, but not in the way I want it. Okay, so just like a single tiling like sort of thing. So what else I can do here is that I can take this one. Okay, take this one, add another transform here, make this one add, go here, move it this here. Okay, and keep on, you know, producing it. Another blend. then transform 2D here. Let's make this add again. Okay, now last time. And oops, there it is. Oh, okay. And this is sort of a result I'm getting here. Okay, so this is how the tile mode actually help you that what your end result will be. Okay, so now I hope you have got the idea about the tile mode here, So you can turn it off or on with the spacebar. Now next to it is the physical size. Basically, if you are working for the gaming and then you want to check if this actually the size that matches with your like physical environment, the realistic environment, or the way you want it to, so you can like toggle it on and off with that. Okay, so basically for the final result it usually works. Now next two are pretty simple. Like this one is basically make the image fit in the view. Suppose if I zoom it out, or maybe I have move it somewhere and I don't know where it's gone. It is I'm zooming in or out. So you just click on this button and it will bring it back. Or maybe if I have zoomed in and I don't know what's going on. Okay, if I'm moving around and if I click it here, it will bring it back. The next to it is basically reset the zoom by setting a 1-to-1 ratio between the image and the view. This is where if you have lost somewhere and you want to see how the actual size is, like how the final result should look like, just see how sharp it is, because I'm on the 100% view. If I click it here, I'm actually on the 13.23 view, but if I click this one, I'm on the 100% view. Okay. So here, this is basically to actually put everything in the center. Okay, or sorry, it is just like plus and minus for your zooming. So zoom out, zoom in. But I usually use this to see everything. But if you don't want to mess with the size, you have this lock button. You can lock it out. So now I cannot, do like kind of like changes here that will like prevent to change the view size. Okay, so I can lock it. Okay, and then it will be there. So right now it is locked, so I don't have to worry about it. By default, it is actually locked. So we are done with these nodes here. So let's move it down back where it was, so we can move to the top viewport and see what do we have here. Now, actually here we have the first option, background image. Now this is good for referencing. Suppose if you want to block your image, some shapes you want to block with your actual references, and you want to create a output out of it, so you can simply just click it here, choose the image, like suppose this one, it will show you the image. Now I know where I have to put this, a shape, where I have to put this. I can control the opacity of this. So pretty much good about it. You can change this one, or you can reset the opacity if you have messed up. So you can go and load some different image, or you can just remove it from here. Next is that suppose I want to save this viewport, like an image of this viewport, so I can save like a bitmap of this. So just I can click it here and I can go to my folder, and here maybe I can write anything here. And then I can open that folder. And here it is. Now, next one here is to copy into the clipboard. So if you want to save something in the clipboard, like suppose If I click on this one, this is copied in the clipboard. Now, if I would want to open up like any Word file or anything here and try to paste that, it will be pasted. Okay, so this is quite handy also. Now, one thing I want to mention here, as I told you before, to toggle on and off the tile mode, you have spacebar. And other thing is that if you are zoomed out and you want to bring back everything, just like when you click on this button, make a fit in the viewport. Same thing you can do with the F key on your keyboard. You just press F key and you will get this on the screen. Now, next one over here, you can see this is grayed out. This is actually, if you will see that when we created this package and we got this graph here, so you will notice we have these output nodes. So if I click here, you can see I have all these output nodes here. So you can view all these output nodes from here by double clicking them. Okay. And you will notice that they are coming, they are displayed here. At the same time, now you can see this is activated. So you can click here and you can cycle through all the nodes. Same way you can do from here, you can do from here as well. Okay, so let's go back here and let's see some other ones here. Okay. Now we have here UV. So for the UV, because as this is a plane view, so let's change like a plane material. Let's change this one. So we can actually work on this one, but it's just flat. So it's better to have something else. So I will just go to the scene here and I will choose cube. So let's have a cube. Actually, what I want here is, let's reduce this height here because it's quite annoying me. The scale of the height all the way 0. Or let's do one more thing. Oh yeah, keep it just like that. I don't want to play more about it like with that. So to activate the UV here, we will go to the scene here and oops. And here we have display UVs in 2D view. So if I will click on this, so I will get the UVs here. Basically it's not showing. Let's go back here. You can see that this is how you can see the UVs. So let's choose some like a different sort of a scene here so we can clearly see what's going on. Let's choose matte ball. Now we can see clearly how the UVs looks like. So you can see that how the UVs are. And now we can actually work pretty well in this viewport. Okay, as we know where is like where it is, like or like where are the UVs and stuff like that. So let's see where is our base color. So let's remove this. Okay, now I'll bring the shape here. Okay, and then this shape I will just put it here and I will go change it to disk. Okay, scale it down and then here I can add transform 2D. So I can move this here. Okay, and I can reduce the size of it. One thing we have to be careful about is the tiling mode. We have to go to the absolute, turn it to no tiling. Okay. So let's see where is this front part. I think this is the one. So So this is actually, you can put that basically with the help of the like the UV map. So you can create like a blending node over here between these. Okay, and actually we'll put this in the opacity, and we can bring up the uniform color and put the uniform color here, and whatever color you want you can choose here, and you can see it's been changing over here. So let's take these all, put this in an empty area so that we can do much more with the UVs. So you can see that here we have this other UV. Okay, so I can take a new shape here. Okay, and then I can scale the y-axis here, transform 2D. Okay, so now what we can do here is that exactly the same thing that we did up here, we can do down here as well. So we have this, we can take our uniform color. So this time I'll choose red. Okay, then I'll take blend. Okay, this should be my opacity, this should be my foreground color, so I will have this here. Now let's remove this from here and make another blend and blend these two together and put them here. So now you can see that how these actually are working. Okay, so with the help of the UV thing, you can check that. So you can use the UV set on or off with the wireframe or without the wireframe. So because now I can turn off the UV, I don't want to see the UV, so I can turn it off. But I know like this is how it will actually work. So very, very handy thing here if you're working and you have UVs on your map. Next is basically image information. So if it will just give you the image information here, what kind of colors and the values, which is like a hue saturation value it is giving you. Next is the display histogram. It gives you the histogram of different images that you will select from here. For example, if I go here, it will show me some how the histogram of this is, how the histogram of this is. So there is a node which is called histogram scan. So for that, we can use this and maybe. So that's about this. So that's pretty much about the 2D view. Now let's move to the 3D view here. Now in the 3D view, the first thing is how to view. Now to view inside the 3D view, it's quite simple. If you want to pan around, you just press your middle mouse button, which is your scroll wheel. So you can press your scroll wheel and you can move around just like this. You can pan around. If you want to zoom in and out, so you can use the scroll the wheel to zoom in and out. If you want to zoom in and out without the scroll wheel, so you can press the right mouse button and drag up and down. If you want to orbit, so press left mouse button and you can orbit. So you can do that. And if you want to orbit and zoom in and out, so you can press both mouse buttons. So it will orbit and it will also at the same time zoom in and out. So if you press F on your keyboard, so it will bring you like it will give you the full view of like a complete centralized view of your object. So now here, just like unlike 2D view, we don't have the icon based options here. We do have the menu based option here. So first let's look like to the camera. So while we are on the topic of the camera, we also have the same ability, the kind of like here we can do some changes in the camera view. We are in the default camera, and as I told you before, to focus, just press F and everything will be centralized. Now if I want to see back, I can click here back. If I want to see bottom, I can see the bottom. I can see front, I can see left, I can see perspective, I can see right, and I can see top. So you can just go through this and you can check around these. So another cool thing inside the camera you have is a bunch of different properties. As soon as you choose the camera and edit, you will get the camera options here. So you have the focal length here. Right now I have 35 here. So if I can zoom in and zoom out, you can see that it is actually changing here. I can reset this, okay, to whatever like I want. So it will go back here, and if you will see that, kind of looks like this. Okay. You can also change the background color here. Suppose I don't want this sort of a grayish blackish color, so I can change the color to whatever I want. Totally up to you. Or you can reset to what you actually not looking for, or maybe some grayish value here. Okay. So can just go to what it was before, something like this. And then I have here the camera resolution. I have like a quality threshold remap, and all these things like are the post effects. Like if you can turn, if right now it is false, I can turn it on, and you can see that I have a really a cool looking a glare over here. I can increase the quality of the glare. I can change the luminosity of the glare. It's like wherever the light is hitting, the glare is appearing over there. So these kind of like bloom, I can increase the bloom effect here. So I can turn this on. I can have some bloom. I can have some ghost of the bloom, hello luminance. So many things I can do here. Okay, stars, sharpness, I can turn it on and off. So you can do a lot of things here. You can also use depth of field. Okay, aperture you can control because it works with the depth of field here. So I can use something like this. Like suppose if you're using a very large object, or let me zoom in, then you can see like if I move it back and forth, so you can see that the result. Okay. So these kind of things, you can see that. I will just turn them all to false. I don't want them right now. Okay, and this one also, let's make it a little bit darker, more darker. Now let's go to the scene drop down here. So the scene drop down gives you a list of different messages that could be changed into your uh, like 3D, like in your 3D view, like a material. Sorry, not the messages. Like it gives you like a list of different like materials here that you can change to preview inside the 3D view. For example, right now I'm in the matte ball. I can change it to cylinder, so it will change it to cylinder, something like this. Okay, and if I will change it to rounded cylinder, so I will get something like this. And if I will change it to cube, or I can change it to anything else, maybe plane or high res plane. So totally up to you. Takes a little time to load, depends on how, like what do you have there. So it help you in variety of different materials depending on different like scenarios. So if you want to see like your texture or like here, okay, suppose I want to see this, the grunge map here. So what I can do is that simply, so I can right click here and view output in 3D view, okay, and I can use it as the base color. So if right now the base color, you can see it is getting it from there, and this is what it's shown in the base color here. So next, what we have here is the materials, and here basically, if you will go in the default, you will see different sort of materials here. Blinn, it will give you some this sort of feeling here, okay. And if you want Lambert, it will give you this sort of like a look, okay. Usually I use the like physical metallic roughness because this is what we used, and like while we were like creating this graph. So I can have a parallax occlusion also. This is the parallax occlusion. But if you want it to be high definition and you want to see your height map correctly, so basically you can go back to the physical metallic roughness default and use the tessellation. So once you will click on the tessellation, it will be turned on. And if you want to edit this, you just have to go to materials, default, edit. And once you will do that, you will be here. Now, if you will see your height map is also connected with this like node, which is the our grunge map. Now here it doesn't look like it is 3D, okay, because it's all flat. If I will go to the material, scenes here, and yeah, this is plain high res. The reason is that because there is no tessellation on here. So if you will go down here, you have a tessellation factor. So you can turn it all the way to 16 to make it look like high res. Then you have scale. Scale is 0 all the way to like below to 0. If I will start increasing this, you will notice that I'm getting some sort of a height map here, like a height over here. This is quite sharp, okay. So I'm getting something like this. And if you don't want this to be too sharp, just like the way I have it here, so what I can do is I can bring up a blur, high quality blur over here, okay, blur HQ high quality. And now you can see that it is just like normal, like it's not like the way it was before. Okay, so you can see how it is. If I will go here, I can up the quality, intensity I can reduce a little bit here. At least I can have some details there. And by going back to the material default edit, I can now increase my scale a little bit more up. And you will notice that what kind of graph I'm getting out of it. So one thing you don't have to worry about is that how I got this height map, how I created this height map nodes over here, and what sort of like nodes are happening here. So only thing you have to worry about at this point is how I change these values through the edit, okay, and what it actually did, what was the scale, what scale was doing, was what tessellation factor was doing, what scalar zero value was doing, okay, these kind of things. And here if you will notice, I have my roughness, okay. My roughness basically is like you can say like grayish, and this is blackish. So if I will go here, you can see my roughness is like basically the gray here. If I go here and change it to white, so you can see that it is completely flat like a paper. If I go all the way to black, you can see that it is kind of reflective, like shiny, like a glass. Okay, so that's how it affects here, and it shows there as well. Now, metallic, same thing. If I will keep on going to the white, it will make it look like it's 100% metal. And if I will go all the way in the between or something like that, okay, so it will be not just like a metal itself. It will be just like a normal material. So these things, like these are also in like shown here inside your uh, options. Like whatever you are, like the nodes you have, it is showing over here as well. Okay, and then like all this we will go through in detail in our later classes also, so you don't have to worry about these extra stuff. But at this stage, don't worry about how we got this height map, because this is what we are going to be like learning more in detail in our next classes. So let me change it back to the gray. So now let's do one thing. Let's close this one and create a, let's remove all of it. A new graph over here, so we can start everything fresh. So you have previously seen in the file that we just closed, when we were changing the roughness, the metallic, the height, everything was automatically changing, like was changing inside our 3D view. So now why every time we connect something and it live updates in the 3D view, how, like why this happens? It kind of goes back into the templates, okay, that we first chosen when we were creating this. So we choose to have these view, or like outputs: base color, normal, roughness, metallic, ambient occlusion, height, and all those things. So that's already connected to our 3D view. So when we do these kind of changes, it directly affects here. For example, if I will go to the uniform color here, double click it and change its color, automatically you will see that it is changing here. Okay, let's undo that for now. So right now, because all of these outputs that you see on the screen are like the base color or normal, roughness, metallic, ambient, and height, they are all interconnected with this 3D view. So that's why every time we update, for example, what I did like right now, like the uniform color, so it actually changes in the in our 3D viewport. So same thing if we were to say plug in a shape over here. Okay, so let's do that. Let's bring a shape node here, and let's double click the shape here and change it to disk. Make it a little smaller. So for example, I'll take this one, plug it to the uniform, my normal. Then if I will go to the not roughness, basically to the ambient occlusion, okay, and remove the ambient occlusion from here and add our own ambient occlusion here. Put this one here and this one here. Again, don't worry about what we are doing right now, because all this we will learn in the next chapter that we will have. We will learn each and everything in detail about how the nodes are like created, like, you know, what kind of nodes we have, what each nodes do, how do we get the height map, how do we get the normal map. So you don't have to worry about that right now. And then I will move this to height. Okay, so right now this is the physical, this is parallax occlusion by default, so I have to change it to tessellation like we did last time. And then once it is done, I can go to the edit here. And now just see, as I have connected all these, automatically we are kind of uh, having the result here. Okay, so if I scale it up, so you can see that things are changing. Okay, I'm getting the result here. So now let's say we only have this uniform color activate, but the one that we did, I just delete this one by pressing here. So you will notice everything is now gone. Okay, let's undo that. But what if keeping this but deleting all of it? Now this is not changed. Now so that's because it's still kind of reading what we had there before. So if I wanted to see the live preview of actually what's going on in the 3D graph, we can right click anywhere inside the graph into the view, and then like a graph view, and then we can go to the view outputs and the 3D view. Okay. Sorry, right click and resend and view outputs in the 3D view. So as soon I will do that, it will show me only what I have here. And what is there? It's my uniform color, because the rest of the other things are gone. So if I undo this, now I have everything back here, but it's not showing on the on my 3D view. Now if I right click again, reset and view output in 3D view, now I will start getting that again. But as you know, because I deleted that, I have to go back in the default, edit my like first let's see, tessellation is on. Yeah, edit the material here and make sure the scaling is up. Okay, so that's how you can do that. So right now, because all we have is a base color output, that's all we can see. Now say we want to see the shape as a normal, as we took a normal node and plug it in the shape. Okay, like we have done here. So what we can do is that, like, let's double click this normal here. Okay, and make sure this is OpenGL. Okay, so now we can start seeing our normal. Okay, so I can up the intensity here a little bit, and let's do one thing. Let's blur this one. Let's put the blur here. Okay, and then double click it here. So now if I will increase the intensity, so you can see how it is changing. And one more thing I can do here is that go to the blur, decrease the intensity of the blur, basically. And you can see what kind of result now we are getting. Now, one thing we can do here is let's remove this height for now, just so we can focus on the our normal map. Okay, so this is what sort of a norm like we are getting here inside this our normal map. Now, one more thing I can do here is that I can use a blend here. Okay, and then use another shape, or instead of using another shape, I can take this one and choose transform and put this here and use subtract. Okay, and I will just subtract this just like this here. Like I will just move around. Let's do one thing. Absolute tiling mode, no tiling. So don't worry about the blending here, because we will have a different chapter about the blending, as I said before. So I'm just showing you around the way the normal map actually works. So you can see that how we are getting the normal map here. So now you can see we got some nice bevel edges. So we can up the quality of the blur, but we already did that. So we are okay with that. Okay. And also we have changed the quality, like the intensity of this. Okay. You can go, I think, a little bit more. If you type here 5, it can go more. And then it will give you much more higher result. You can go much more higher, because by default you can only go to 3, but you have to dial in the value manually to go to up it. So now we can do one more thing here, is that because we just removed, we just disconnected this shape from our height. Let's bring back the height here. Okay. And let's go back to the material and edit here. And then tessellation factor, I'll increase it. Scale, I will increase it also. And I can go much more beyond, like instead of 10, I can go 20 here. So that's also what I can do. But you will see that I have these sort of artifacts, which can be fixed after blurring this out. Okay, that's not a big deal. But you don't have to keep this higher value, or just I'm showing you. So 10 was enough, or maybe a little bit less was enough. So, but in our next chapters, where we will learn how to do all these height maps, how what kind of nodes we have, what kind of useful nodes we have, how we can do the blending stuff. There we will learn how we actually play with the heights. Okay, so right now it's just like showing you how the scale is kind of calculated here. Now let's see how the lights will work here. So about the light, if we will just click it here, we have reset lights option here, just if you want to reset the lights. But if you want to edit, just go to lights, edit. Very simple. We have only 2 options, reset or edit. So we'll go to edit, and we'll have these lights option over here. And from here, we can actually change the ambient color of the lights. Basically, if you want something like an orangish light or just like that, it will change it. Let's do one thing. Instead of this sort of let's put a neutral color so we can actually see how the lights are working basically. Okay. So you can see that how the light is affecting here. If we look closely enough, it becomes reddish. So you have the red option here. So we can change the light colors, and it will basically let's enable this one. Sorry. So this is how you can get the different sort of lights color here. Now to see the light actually on the screen, you can go to display option here and click on the light. So once the lights are on, you can, because right now I don't have, I just only have an ambient light which is not showing over here. So I can turn on my point light here. So simple is the same thing, light, edit, and you are here. So you just click on this and you will have the light. If I zoom out, you can see here is the light basically. And I can increase the intensity of this point light. And right now this is the point light's color is white. You can change the point light color to red. And if I change it, so you can see that it is giving me a red feeling over here. So I can turn it up or down. So it's totally up to you what you want to do actually. Next, if you want to have one more point light, I can click on the point light again, and I will have one point light here. So you can see that I have 2-point lights here. I can change this to maybe greenish. Okay. And I can have this. Now, next thing is that I can now click on this light button, and I can make the light, like, I can move. Let's move first. Let's zoom out so you can see everything here. Okay, now if I will go to the light option here, if I want to move the light around these points light, so I can just left click on my mouse and I can orbit around, move it up or down, so it will change the position of the light basically. And if I want to increase or decrease the a distance of the light from the subject, so I can just press right mouse button and move my mouse up and down, so it will change the more like a distance between here. Okay, and you can see that how the light is affecting. Just see how the highlight is there. Now, anytime if I wanted to use the camera option, I can go back, or even if I'm in the light, I can use that, but I have to press Alt key on my keyboard to do all those kind of operations. So when I leave the Alt key, it will be in the light mode here. So now after the lights, let's turn off the lights from here. Okay, just let's keep this one there. Let's reset this, set this, and I will go back from light to the camera view. Now we have here the environment tab also. So if I will go to the environment tab and go to the edit, then I will see here completely different thing, which is about the environment. Now in the display, the environment is not here, but if you will go here, because we got it as we press the edit button, here we have visibility on or off. So right now it's false. If I will turn it true, so I can see what I have here. So if I rotate my camera with my left mouse button, you can see not only my the view is moving, it's also my background moving. Now here I can control the exposure of my environment, and this is the actual environment I'm using right now. So if I click on the environment here, okay, like if I want to use the environment, basically you can go here in your library, okay, and here you will have the 3D view. Inside the 3D view you have HDR environment, and you can choose between any environment here, HDRI environment. So suppose I want to use this one, so I can click here and you will see this is the one I have, and the lights will change accordingly. I can drag this one here, maybe this one. So as I'm changing, you can see the light, the way light reflects is also changing. So whatever suits best to you, you can use that. I don't know which one was there by default, but I'll keep on looking at different ones of these. Yeah, this was the one. Now if I don't want to see the visibility, I can just turn it off. But this is how you can change this these kind of light. Now what if, let's turn this on for now. What if, because this is HDRI light, and the HDRI light actually affects your scene lighting. Now if I want to rotate this environment, my light will also rotate, my light will also affect it, affect it. So how I can do is that I can press Control and Shift on my keyboard and right click my mouse button on the scene and I can rotate it. And you can see that it is actually changing the way my light is like generated from the HDRI. Okay, so this is how you can do that. Shift, Control, and right mouse button. So if I will turn this off and do the same thing, Shift, right, and the right mouse button, Shift, Control, and right mouse button, you can see how this is changing. So this is what you will be using a lot to see how your scene is. Now, finally, the render in Substance Designer rendering that use inside here is like basically in the renderer. So we have here OpenGL that we are using right now. And apart from that, we have iRay. Now, iRay is basically a photorealistic render. So it uses a bunch of your GPU power. So inside you can change the minimum samples or maximum sample. So it takes a little time, but it gives you a high quality results, more realistic result here. So if you have a good graphic card, you can use that. Basically, once you're finished and you want to preview or look at your like work that you have done, you can run it through the iRay. So if I click on the iRay right now, you will notice that if I'm moving around, you can see I'm getting this sort of like result. Now, reason I'm getting this is because it the iRay uses a different sort of a like more like tessellation options here. So if I go to the rendering like method here, so I can use photoreal or photoreal cluster. Okay, and but I will just use the photo real here. Then in the edit, I have here samples. So I can up the maximum samples, okay, to get more good result, or just lower it down so that it won't affect it. Post denoiser, I can turn it on so I don't have more like denoising here. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Okay. Now, if I will go to the material basically here and edit it, okay, so I will, you can see that there are now a little bit different sort of option that we have here, unlike what we had before, because we are using iRay. We are not using like what you call the OpenGL. So we have different sorts of options here. So we can do some sort of changes here in order to get like nicer like result here. Okay. So to fix your iRay rendering, so basically what you need to do is that first of all, make sure you are in the iRay. Basically, when you will move around, you will notice that you have these options, which is basically automatically, and anyone who's looking at this will know that he's in iRay. Now you need to go to the scene option here, and inside the scene, now you will see things are a little bit changed here. Not that much. I think it's same most of the time, but for if you click on the edit, then you will see some little changes here. Now, if scene edit, you will get all these information. Now, what we need to change now, if you're using iRay, the method of your rendering. So you can go to the method here and you can choose parametric. So once you will choose the parametric, you need to increase the number for that. Now what I will do here is that I will just increase number, maybe 5. It's a quite higher value, but just to show you around. As soon as I will do that, it will take a little time and it will start resampling, and I will get much more better result here. Now, as you can see that it looks much more better like it was before. Photorealistic also, plus the result is also good. So this is how you can get your rendering through the iRay, photorealistic and nice rendering. You just have to go to the scene, edit, change your method to parametric, and increase the parametric number over here. So that's pretty much that's all about the 3D view as well. So I hope you have understood about everything, how it works in the 2D and the 3D view, and some other tips that I have gone through. So I hope you have liked this lesson, and I'm sure you will be waiting for the next lesson. And our next lesson will cover the library like panel over here, which is basically this one. So we will go through the library in then our next lesson. So I would like to thank you all for all your support, and I hope you will continue to support me. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed to it yet, and I will be posting a lot of new content. So don't forget to hit the bell icon so you can receive the notifications about them. If you have liked my video, so please hit the like button and leave your questions in the comment section below, and I will surely answer them. And in the end, I would again like to mention that please avoid download anyone who is downloading my videos. I'm sure those who are my followers are not doing that, but maybe someone who just came by and unintentionally, without knowing much about my channel, maybe he downloads. So please avoid that. Watch my videos online, because if anyone who downloads my video, it's basically it's making my hard work wasted. My hard work won't pay off like this if anyone is downloading my video. So please, to support me, always watch my videos online. So thanks once again, everyone, and soon we will meet in the next lesson. Take care of yourselves, stay healthy, and keep learning. And please do share my courses, my channel, to all your other friends so that they can also get the benefit out of my channel. Thanks a lot. So take care, everyone.
There is one important announcement I would like to make. I have started 3 great membership plans on my channel. I have introduced ZI Friends membership plan, which will give you exciting perks like loyalty badges and priority on comments. I have also introduced ZI Early Bird plan, which will give access to Z interactive tutorials way early before they become public. So you will get all these lessons at once and you can binge watch. Last but not the least, I have introduced ZI Premium plan, which will give access to advanced professional tutorials, which you will find at very expensive outside, and I will be giving this at a very low amount of price. So visit my channel now and click on the join membership to get more information. I hope you become one of my members. If you want to learn how to create a highly detailed prop procedurally using Substance Designer, so this premium tutorial series is for you. Join my premium membership plan on YouTube and get access to all premium tutorials. In this tutorial series, I will demonstrate how to use Substance Designer along with simple geometry to create a realistic, smashed up retro television.